Gemini, there's something about this month that feels heavy with responsibility. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just the fact that you may feel tied down to responsibilities when meanwhile there is a part of you that wants to do what it is that you love and make your heart sing. There's a lot of introspection that needs to happen this month, and you really need to be honest with yourself with respect to what makes you happy and what ultimately is your life purpose. If you want to know more, keep watching and I'll explain all about it. Gemini, what's up? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Gemini, this is going to be the astro forecast and tarot scope for you for the month of February 2021. I have to start out by saying that the astro forecast is done by your rising sign. So the astro forecast part, at least, of this video is for Gemini rising. It's not to say that you can't watch this video if you're a Gemini sun, but the astro part is really based on your rising sign. I feel, and my recommendation is to watch the videos for your sun and your rising sign. And if you don't know what your rising sign is, you can find out by going to astro.com, entering your birth information, and they're going to generate a birth chart for you, which will tell you what your sun, moon, and rising signs are. For astro.com, you'll need your exact birth time, date, and location. So I'll leave the link in the description box below so you can check that out. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. All right, so February 2021 is arguably one of the most important months of 2021. We have a stellium of planets in Aquarius. And that just means that there's a shitload of planets in the sign of Aquarius right now. There are going to be 6 planets to be specific. So wherever Aquarius is in your chart, that's where you're going to feel the most energy, and that's where you're going to have the most activity this month. But the reason why this month is so important is because this is sort of ground zero for us to build a brand new foundation. I feel like 2020 was all about breaking things down. If you notice, 2020 was about structures crumbling. It was about outdated and outmoded programming that people are finally starting to wake up to and decide that they don't want to ascribe to anymore. Everyone has this revolutionary spirit that is just pouring through their veins right now, and we all want something new, something different, something innovative, and something futuristic. And that is the essence of Aquarian energy. It's about looking to the future. It's about futuristic energy, being innovative and thinking outside of the box. So that is this intense energy that we're all experiencing right now. And it's all concentrated within this month of February. So that's why this month is super important and very pivotal. Very pivotal when it comes to moving forward and creating our new reality. And so for you, Gemini, all of this is taking place in your 9th house of long distance. Clearly, Mercury is still retrograde because every video that I've been doing, like, I'm tongue-tied, I'm saying the wrong things, like communication is kind of a struggle right now. But I'm working through it and I'm doing my best, so thanks for your patience with me. Yes, Gemini. So this intense planetary energy is happening in your 9th house of long distance travel and higher education. So this house, the 9th house, isn't just about like planning trips and taking college courses. It's about the super conscious. It's about thinking beyond your own consciousness And it's about topics such as philosophy, law, sort of those broad topics that help expand and stretch your mind. So for you guys are going to be the ones who are really going to be thinking outside of the box and just thinking about different possibilities, thinking about, you know, breaking the mold. You guys are going to be the thinkers this month with all of this planetary energy. And that makes perfect sense because you guys are the thinkers generally. Gemini, you guys are very cerebral. Both you and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So when it comes to thoughts and communication, like, you guys are on it. And so this month, I feel like you guys are just going to expand your mind in ways that you've never experienced before. I feel like the ninth house is very much about experience. It's about learning through experience and experiencing different things. The ninth house also covers, like, when we say long distance travel, it's also about things that are foreign to you. So I feel like you guys are going to experience a lot of new things, a lot of different things. Some of you really may be traveling to a distant place or a place you've never been to before, but I think that you guys are just going to open yourselves up to experience the new things, even the things that are around you that you've never experienced before. Yeah, I feel like you guys are just going to be open to new possibilities, and I feel like it's going to get your mind going, and it's going to get those creative juices flowing as well. You guys are going to be, with Mercury also in this house, and I'll get to that in a second. With Mercury also in your ninth house, I feel like you guys are already chatty. You guys love to be social. You guys love to you guys are like the social butterfly sign of the zodiac. But I feel like this month in particular, you guys are really going to be communicating with people who are very different from you, whether they're different culturally or whether they're different in just their viewpoints and opinions. I feel like you guys are going to be talking with a lot of different people, a lot of new people that you've never met before. Aquarius is all about information, and it's also the internet. So I feel like you guys are going to be doing a lot of, you know, communicating via social media, just via the internet, text messages, email, stuff like that, but with people that you probably have never communicated with before. Aquarius also rules astrology. So I feel like a lot of you may be delving into astrology, maybe wanting to learn astrology. And side note, if you guys are looking to learn more about astrology, I've created this cute little astrology cheat sheet, which gives you all the basic information, like the foundation you need to start learning astrology. So if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description box below. So check that out. But yeah, I feel like you guys are just going to be all over the place like you usually are. And I mean that in a good way. But you guys are going to rack up this experience of new and exciting things that's going to get your mental wheels turning. So that's when the sun is in Aquarius. But come February 18th, the sun is going to be moving into the sign of Pisces, which is going to be your 10th house of career and public life. So by the end of the month, your focus is going to shift towards your work, your career, moving ahead in your career. Maybe if you own a business, you're really going to be focused on that. That is the time for you guys to be seen, for you to be noticed, and for you guys to be recognized. So it's almost sort of stepping into the limelight come Pisces season on February 18th. So keep that in mind. If you start to, by Pisces season, if you start to see an uptick in your career or something within your career becomes like a very pressing issue, it's because that's where the sun has shifted. So keep that in mind. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is Mercury. And as you've noticed and as you've seen throughout this video with me being tongue-tied, Mercury is still retrograde. Mercury went retrograde at the end of January, and it will remain retrograde until it goes direct on February 20th. So Mercury, again, is in Aquarius, where there is this like melting pot of a whole bunch of planetary energy. And Mercury in your 9th house is what I was describing before. It's you guys communicating with different people, maybe people from other countries. You guys, it's also about study. So if you guys are in college or university, obviously your studies are going to take precedence right now, but it's more so about finding things out through experience. So again, that could include astrology, which is covered under Aquarius. It could be religion, philosophy, law, any of those sort of things. Speaking of law, this house also covers legal proceedings. And with Mercury in this house, that could also be about a lot of paperwork. So if you are engaged in a legal battle, you may be sending motions, you may be filing papers in court. A lot of that stuff may be relevant for you right now. But with Mercury retrograde, it's like you need to look at everything twice or maybe even 3 times because mistakes are inevitable. Communication is going to be wonky. Paperwork may go missing. If you're talking about legal proceedings, you definitely want to look where all the commas are. Look at the words that you're using because a comma or any little word switch can completely change a legal argument or the outcome of a legal proceeding. So you guys definitely want to keep that in mind if you're working on a case. If you have a lawyer that's working on a case for you, go through everything with a fine-tooth comb before you send anything out or file anything. But yeah, so once February 20th hits, Mercury will go direct and things should pretty much go back to normal. And I feel like at that time, that's when you guys are really going to find the communication gets better for you. Studying and research gets better for you. So that's what we have to look forward to this month with Mercury. I kind of jumped ahead of myself because before I talked about Mercury, I wanted to talk about the moon. Obviously, every month we have a new moon and a full moon, and this month is no exception. So first, and I'm filming this after the fact, but we had a new moon in the sign of Aquarius on February 11th. That new moon was all about setting intentions and planting seeds that you wanted to grow, particularly as it pertains to your future. Again, Aquarius is very future looking and futuristic. So the energy of that new moon was all about planting seeds for your future. I'll definitely link that video so that you guys can check that out. That energy is still relevant right now, so check out that video all about the new moon in Aquarius and still take advantage of the energy while it's available. But coming up, we have a full moon in the sign of Virgo on February 27th. And for you, Gemini, this is in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. So full moons illuminate. They either show you the culmination of events from the past. So it could be something that you started 6 months ago, particularly as it relates to your home and domestic life. That is where you're going to experience some illumination come the full moon. So think back to 6 months ago. What did you start? Maybe you started saving for a home. Maybe you had a property matter that you started. Whatever it is, you may see that particular project or endeavor come to fruition around the time of this full moon. Otherwise, the full moon illuminates things that have been in the dark for a while. And being that this full moon is happening in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs, this full moon may have something to do with a family member. It may have to do with your physical home. It may have to do with your lineage, such as your ancestors or your grandparents. It may have to do with property that you own. If you are a landlord, it may have to do with your tenant or something to that effect, but you get the idea. Expect the unexpected because this full moon is going to be trying to Uranus. So it may be something sudden, it may be something surprising, it may be something unexpected. So keep that in mind. And that is happening again on February 27th in the sign of Virgo. All right, so we already talked about Mercury as I got ahead of myself. So now finally, the last planet I want to talk about for this month is Venus, because Venus is making some moves this month. Yeah, because Venus is making some moves this month. Typically, Venus stays in a sign for about a month, give or take. So some months, Venus may just stay in one sign, but this particular month, she will be in 2 signs. So Venus starts out on February 1st by moving into the sign of Aquarius. Again, with all of this planetary, it's like a dumping ground for all of this planetary energy. And Venus moved into your 9th house on February 1st. And Venus is all about relationships. It's all about fairness and equality. So those of you dealing with a legal situation, the idea of fairness and equality, sort of balancing the scales, maybe coming to a settlement, maybe finding some middle ground is how you may experience this Venusian energy. For others of you, this may be your relationship to people that are at a distance from you, or again, you guys are going to have a heavy emphasis on communicating with different people. You may find that you have a romantic interest that lives far away. So some of you may be dealing with a long distance relationship, and that may be highlighted once Venus moves into the sign of Aquarius. For others of you, it's just going to be sort of this camaraderie with different people, experiencing different things, that sort of thing. But then by February 25th, Venus is going to move into the sign of Pisces. And that's going to be your 10th house of career and public life. And when Venus moves into Pisces, you can expect work relationships to become a focus. networking, being social, finding people who can be of benefit to you in your career is going to be the focus. Also, if you have a career that is in the arts, fashion, music, art, whatever, I feel like once Venus moves into Pisces, you guys are going to have a surge of creativity, especially if you're a content creator. Tap into that Venusian energy to get creative with your content. I feel like that'll really help you out. Also, some of you may find work. Some of you may find love at work once Venus moves into the sign of Pisces. I'm telling you, like, I am struggling with the words right now, but I think I'm doing okay. Yeah, you might find love at work. You may not want to shit where you eat, so keep that in mind, but Venus is going to make you very attractive, and with this falling into your career sector, you kind of get how this goes. So be mindful. Apart from that, Venus is just going to make you social. Again, it's about your work relationships, finding love at work, being attractive, particularly if you have a job that requires you to be seen, such as, a YouTuber, if you work, if you're on television, in the movies, there's going to be this magnetism to you that's going to have people drawn to you like moths to a flame. So if you own your own business, this is, by the time Venus goes into Pisces on February 25th, that is the time that you're going to really want to put yourself out there, because that's where you can get more followers. That's where you can get more fans, more subscribers. You get the point. Venus is going to give you that extra boost of positive energy. So use it while the energy is available to you. All right, Gemini, so that has been your astro forecast for February 2021. If you want to know more, I highly suggest that you check out the monthly horoscopes that are currently up on my site. I'll leave that link below so you can read all about what February has in store for you. All right, so now that the astrology is out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you for this month. All right, Gemini, so we'll start with the oracle cards for an overarching message, and then we'll circle back in with the tarot for some more specific stuff. Right, so the first card out, we've got safe travel. This is all about that 9th house energy where we've got that Aquarius stellium right now. Every time I get this card, I hear, you are now free to move about the cabin. Like when you're on a plane and it reaches a certain altitude, and then finally you could take off your seatbelt, go to the bathroom, do all of the stuff that, stretch your legs, all that stuff. I feel like that is where you're at right now. So for some of you, you may have been, I don't want to say confined. I do want to say that you had to reach a certain altitude. So you were on your way up, right? And now you've reached this plateau where now you can move about. So some of you may have had a struggle of some sort, or some sort of mountain that you've had to climb, some sort of, I don't even want to say a struggle, because it's not something that's really like overbearing, but it's just you were working towards something, and now you've reached a plateau where you can move about, be social, particularly with this 9th house energy that you guys have this month. Yeah, you're free to move about the cabin. Maybe some of you are actually flying this month with this 9th house energy concentrated that you are experiencing. Some of you may be traveling abroad. Some of you may be traveling, for work. Others of you may just be fortunate enough to be able to travel to a different, exotic sort of place. So that's relevant for some of you. But I feel like for the majority of you, it's this upward motion that you've been experiencing. You've been working towards something, and now you're free to move about the cabin. All right. We've got surrender. Interesting. I'm getting like, obviously it's about surrender. For some of you, this upward motion that I was just talking about, it has to do with your life purpose. Some of you need to surrender to your life purpose. I feel like until you do, you're still going, it's almost like you're still going to be this work in progress, or you're still going to be experiencing this sort of struggle that's going to restrict you from moving how you want to move, right? Until you acknowledge and surrender to the purpose that you have in this life, or what you're supposed to be doing right now, it's almost like you're still going to be on that upward climb. You're still not going to be at the altitude that you need to be at in order to move freely. You're going to be restricted in a sense. And I get the impression that a lot of you know what this life purpose is. I think you've just been resistant to it. Some of you know what you need to do, and you really need to just surrender to it right now. And I feel like I said before, you guys are very social. You guys are like the social butterflies, and you experience life through experiences, through communicating with other people. Whatever you've been doing that's not your life purpose, you haven't been able to be your full Gemini self. You've almost been contained in a sense. I really hope this makes sense, because the way in my head it makes sense, but coming out, this may just sound like gibberish. But you need to surrender to your life purpose. And I'm going to get more clarity on what you really need to surrender to. But just know that until you do, you're not going to be able to move freely. Oh, honesty. Yeah, you guys need to be honest about what it is that you need to do. And particularly since the sun is going to be moving into your 10th house of career and public life, you guys need to be honest about what your career path is, what your life purpose is, and you need to surrender to it. But anyway, this honesty card says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Yeah, some of you need to be honest about what it is that you need to be doing. It's going to set you free. Not just the honesty, but actually doing what it is that you're supposed to do. It's going to set you free, but you have to surrender to it. Some of you, it requires you. Some of you have been ignoring your emotions. It's almost like you know what makes you feel good. Let me let that pass. I'm telling you, it's like distractions left and right, whatever. Yeah, some of you are ignoring what feels good to you, in the sense that whatever your life purpose is, I feel like it's going to have you very joyful. It's going to make you feel good. But I feel like you guys are more concerned with responsibility. You guys are more concerned with what you should be doing, like from an outside perspective, rather than what feels good to you. Your life purpose is not some sort of assignment that you get that you don't like. Like, God doesn't give you a job and say, here, do this, and you like hate it or you accept it begrudgingly. Your life purpose is in tandem. It's like what God wants for you and what you want for yourself. And that makes you feel good. It makes you feel things, period. And I feel like some of you have been ignoring that. Like, you've put your emotions to the side and you're just like, well, this is what I've been doing for a long time, or this career or this project or whatever is what brings me money. It's what keeps me stable. But you're ignoring the whole fact of what's in your heart and what your purpose is. And now is the time to get really honest with yourself about that. Because whatever you're currently doing that's not in alignment with your purpose, it has you restricted. And it has you not even being yourself. Like I said, you guys are all over the place. And I feel like whatever you're doing has you very stifled, very contained. And that's just not you. All right? Oh. I know that I'm onto something, because anytime I'm like speaking the truth, it's like my nose starts to itch. And my nose is like itching like crazy. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what other messages we have here. Oh, my nose is on fire. Interesting. We have Temperance. Temperance is all about balance. So what I'm getting is that your life purpose may be very different from what you're currently doing right now. And Spirit is like, I don't need you to just up and leave what you're doing. It's like you've got to temper the waters. Don't just leave your job. Start pursuing your life purpose and do them both at the same time. It's an energy of moderation. It's an energy of mixing things together. So you have to start incorporating whatever your life purpose is into your life right now. But slowly, and with a certain measure of moderation. Yeah. For some of you, I keep getting this energy of like your personality. There's something about your personality, like there's something about your personality. It's almost like you're keeping one side of your personality secret or hidden. You guys are the twins, so you guys are two-faced. Some of y'all are two-faced. Let's just say that. But a lot of you aren't. You just have dual personalities, and it's like your life purpose is the other part of you. But it's like you guys are only showing one face. You guys need to show both faces. That's why you need to incorporate your life purpose into the mix, into your life. Okay, let's keep going here. We've got the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's a certain part of your emotions, your intuition that you guys need to tap into and that you need to immerse yourselves in. A lot of you are very much just cerebral. You're very left brain. A lot of you need to switch to your right brain in order to incorporate whatever this life purpose is. But that involves you tapping into your emotions, tapping into your intuition. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. This is about your work. This really is about your life purpose. I want you to look very carefully at this card. On one side of her, she's got all these bowls, right? They look like herbs, things with bowls, but this is like cups. This is your emotions, your intuition. On the other side of this card, it's like she's got books. She's got, I believe that looks like a feather for writing. This is about incorporating both sides of you into what it is that you do for work, for business, how you support yourself. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles here, which denotes work, which denotes stability. But also, I'm going to get more into this card in a second, but let me get back to this Eight of Pentacles. It's about incorporating both sides of you into your work and tapping into your emotions with this. You see all the lunar phases right here? You guys need to get out of your heads and get into your hearts right now. Seriously. There's also this element of lineage, right? And this makes sense because the full moon is going to be in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs, which also speaks of your lineage. This is my ancestor card. This is the card of ancestorship. I don't even know if ancestorship is a word, but I stay making up my own words, so whatever. Some of you are being guided by your ancestors right now. If you're not, if that doesn't apply, a lot of you are thinking a lot about your lineage, maybe where you come from. I'm getting for some of you, what you do right now has been passed down to you from your family. So it may be what has been expected of you from your family. So let's say you have a family that has been farmers for generations and you are now a farmer. It may be what you feel like you're obligated to do because of your family, but it's not what you want to do. It may not be your life purpose. If anyone is familiar with the movie Coco, the Disney movie Coco, this is what this Ten of Pentacles card denotes, because in the movie, it was all about ancestor veneration, right? It's all about remembering your ancestors. And on the second hand, oh my gosh, I love how this is coming together. Sorry, it's really playing out. I'm really seeing this. Spirit is really showing this to me right now. In the movie, the young boy is a musician at heart. Music is what makes his heart happy. It's what makes his heart sing. No pun intended, right? But his family was a family of shoemakers. They were shoemakers for generations, and they were very much against music. They were against music because the grandfather or great-grandfather in the story left his family to pursue a career in music, and the family that was left behind was lonely. They were sad, so they denounced music from their lives. And they expected the young boy to follow the family tradition of making shoes, of being a shoemaker, and he so did not want to do that. In his heart, he wanted to be a musician. And his life purpose was to pursue music because, remember, his great-grandfather was a musician, so he had it in his blood. So there's this dual message, right, which also speaks to the dual nature of Gemini. There is this quality that you have that is a part of your life purpose that may have been passed down to you from your great-grandparents, from your lineage. And I feel like you may discover this around the time of around the time of the full moon. It may be illuminated to you that you have this gift that maybe someone in your family from generations before had, and you're finally going to discover it. And it's going to be part of your life purpose. It's what's going to make your heart sing. It's what you're meant to do in this life. Others of you are doing a job currently that may have been passed down from your family, but that isn't your life purpose. It's not what you're meant to be doing. And that is also going to be uncovered around the time of this full moon. I keep saying new moon though. I feel like, particularly with the presence of the moon cycles on this card, the new moon and the full moon are going to be very pivotal for you this month, Gemini, because I feel like around the time of new moon, you're going to want to plant the seeds of this life purpose. Around the time of the full moon is when you're going to be shown what this life purpose is. Perhaps you're going to be shown that you need to move away from whatever you're doing now and move towards your life purpose. There's something about the moon cycles this month that is very important. So I want you to pay attention to this time right now, because we're still sort of in the energy of the new moon, but definitely towards the end of the month, I want you to pay attention to what comes up, particularly with your family and your lineage, because I think it's going to point you in the direction of your life purpose. That was a mouthful. All right, let's keep going. And check out the movie Coco on Disney if you haven't already. It's a beautiful movie about ancestors and lineage. All right, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. The tides are about to turn. There's something that's about to happen now that it's time for this. Spirit is like turning the clock for you, Gemini, and now is the time to embrace your life's purpose and embrace what makes you happy. The time has come. Let's get 3 more cards out here. Let's get 1 more. Perfect. Okay, first, we've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the 4 of Swords. And we've got the 2 of Swords. All right, interesting. You see these 2 4s? These definitely talk about 4th house energy, which is where the full moon is going to be at the end of the month for you, Gemini. Let me double check that. I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yes. Yes, I'm correct. All right. There's a certain level of healing when it comes to your family. Again, for those of you, I can't link the movie because you obviously have to stream it or whatever, but you need to watch the movie Coco. You really do, because with the young boy actually pursuing his life purpose, it actually healed his family and his lineage. There's something about your family and lineage that needs to be healed right now, and it's only with you pursuing your life purpose that you're going to be able to do that. Really and truly, like, there is some intense healing that's going on, and the healing is not just for you. It's for your present family. It's for your ancestors. Some of you are really healing a whole line of ancestors and lineage in your family. Yes. But some of you are there's still a blockage here for some of you. And I think it's because your family may get in the way, or your family may not approve, or there's this energy of like your family putting these expectations on you, or these responsibilities that you feel like you need to fulfill. And it gets you in this sort of energy, this energy of not moving, this energy of, remember I said before, until you get to the right altitude, you're not going to be able to move freely. And I think that's where some of you are stuck right now. You guys are still not at the right altitude. But you can change that. And you change that by tapping into your emotions, using your intuition, and following the path of your life purpose. And I know that sounds overly simplistic. But again, I get the sense that you guys already know what this life purpose is. You just need to be honest with yourself. I don't feel like I'm speaking to people who have no clue as to what their life purpose is. You guys know. You know, but you've been ignoring it. And it's time to not ignore it anymore. It's time to pay attention to it and to be honest with yourself. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, because until you do, you guys are in this Five of Pentacles energy. Like lack. This is the card of lack. This is a card of ailments. This is a card of it's just not good. Being out in the cold. Your well-being and the well-being of your family depends on this. And I don't even mean to put a whole bunch of pressure on you right now, but that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's like you can really change your family dynamic completely. You can change the dynamic in your life completely, but you just have to be honest with yourself. All right, I want to get some clarity on this surrender. What is it that you need to surrender to? We've got Knight of Pentacles. Again, it's something having to do with work. It's the work that you do. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, it's time. Something having to do with the work that you do. It's time to change it up. Some of you, it's like going out on your own. Others of you, it's changing your career path. But regardless, the time has come for some sort of change. Let's get one more card on that because I'm a little nosy right now. Courthouse. Some of you, I'm hearing name change. Like, you go down to the courthouse to change your name. Others of you, it has to do with law. Remember I said you guys have a bunch of energy in your 9th house, which also covers the law and legal proceedings. There's some sort of legal proceeding that you need to take. Some of you may be a divorce. Others of you, it may be making something official. Maybe it is, and with the 2 and the 3 right here is a 5, it's change. It's changing something legally, changing a name, changing your status. Becoming a lawyer, going to law school, especially the 9th house being higher education. Some of you need to go to law school. Maybe you want to go to law school and, that's where your life purpose lies. Others of you may be lawyers and you need to not do law anymore. Maybe you come from a family of lawyers and now you want to do something else and your family's like, what are you doing? Like, we come from a long lineage of lawyers. Something with the law, heavy 9th house energy. So Spirit is like, I purposely need you to keep this vague because you need to figure out what this is. You need to tap into your emotions to figure out what this is. But I do think that it has to do with a name change, something having to do with legal. So I don't know. Hopefully that resonates for you. All right. But you have quite a big task at hand, Gemini. You guys have, it's almost like you have the weight of your family on your back. And some of you really just need to follow your heart. Tap into your emotions to really figure it out, what it is that you're here to do. Because whatever it is that you're here to do, it's going to make you happy. All right, let's get some astrology cards to close out this reading. We've got sextile, which is about opportunity. You guys are going to there's going to be like an opening for you to incorporate this life purpose into your life right now. But you have to keep your eyes open for this opportunity. And I'm hearing this opportunity might come from afar, whatever that means. Mercury, communication, and your ruling planet. This is definitely going to come. It's information. It's studying. It's thoughts, ideas, words, but it's going to come from afar, perhaps from a family member who is afar, some sort of foreign opportunity. You might have to travel to it. You might hear of it, but it's some sort of communication that's going to be an opportunity that's going to come to you from afar that's going to tie this all together. Let's get one more. 12th house. And what does it say? It says surrender. It's time to, the time has come, particularly also with this Wheel of Fortune. Gemini, the time has come. You have to surrender right now. It's going to require you to tap into your other side. You guys need to show both of your faces. Like I said before, the time has come. This is really important. Spirit is telling me, like, this is really important. You really need to do this right now. But first and foremost, you need to be honest with yourself. And be honest with your family too. Whoever else is involved in this whole situation, you need to be honest with them too. And be forthcoming in your communications with them, particularly if you're deviating from what your family normally does or what is expected of you. But regardless, Gemini, the time is now. All right, Gemini, that has been your astro forecast and taroscope for the month of February 2021. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal reading or order an astrology report, I'll put those links in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. And while you're checking things out, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead, where I do a quick and dirty tarot read as well as a quick and dirty astro forecast for the upcoming week. So follow me there so you don't miss any of that. As always, Gemini, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and trust and believe, tips are always appreciated, I'll leave the link for that in the description box below as well. Gemini, my loves, as always, it is a privilege and an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in my next video.